So are you a golfer who has tried at some point to hold or retain the lag in your golf swing, believing it's going to give you a little bit more distance out on the golf course? Well, if you have, there could be one very important piece of information that you're missing, and we're going to discuss that in this video. So welcome back to the Forest of Arden, and in this video we are talking about lag, but more specifically we're going to address something which is often overlooked when golfers are trying to hold those angles in order to, in many cases, give them a little bit more speed and a little bit more power in their golf swing. So just before we get started, if you're not a subscriber to my channel, I would love you to do so. There is a link down below, and there's also a link at the end of the video if you prefer to wait for that one. I release 3 videos each and every week, helping you with all areas of the game, which hopefully means that you're just going to enjoy your time out on the golf course a little bit more. So lag, it's a topic which I'm going to guess is quite well searched for on, generally the internet and here on YouTube, because golfers are generally on understanding that if we can maintain the angle formed between the golf club and the forearm a little bit longer in the downswing, we're probably going to be able to generate a little bit more speed. That's going to help us hit the ball a little bit further. In many cases, this would be correct. But as I said a moment ago, we're going to address something which is often overlooked in this element of the golf swing. So let me take a starting position to this golf ball. I've only got a 7 on here, but this would apply with all the clubs in the golf bag. So in the backswing, we generally make a lot of different movements relative to setup. We're just going to talk a little bit about the arms and and how they move. So if I take my trail hand off, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add in some wrist set, wrist cock, wrist hinge, whatever you want to call that, but I'm going to create a little bit of an angle here. Now, if I did that and I made a backswing, you can see how this doesn't look particularly like a golf swing would be. And if I was coming downswing here, again, that wouldn't look quite right. So the other bit that's in there would be some forearm rotation. So I'm going to take my lead arm and I'm going to rotate my forearm to move the golf club into this position. Now, as I start to make a backswing, we start to see something that might look a little bit more like a traditional golf swing. And again, if this was a downswing, again, it would look a little bit more neutral. So there's 2 things that happen. My wrist set and my forearms rotate. So I see so many golfers who are trying to hold lag, and when I ask them to explain that and expand on that a little bit, they're trying to hold the wrist angles. So let me give you a demonstration of what that might look like. So I'm going to go up to the top and I'm going to keep my wrist angles. I'm going to keep this angle for as long as I can. Now, you'll see from that down the line camera, that didn't look like a particularly good golf swing. I'm in a position where the golf club is not really where it needs to be as I'm going to hit the golf ball. But look at my wrist angles. I did exactly what I was trying to do. I've held that angle for as long as I can. But to hit the ball now, I'm going to work the club very, very steeply into the ball. It's going to work very much across the ball, and I'm going to have to feel like I stand up out the way. So whilst I maintained that wrist angles and I did what I wanted to do, I held that lag, if you like, the golf swing from down the line looked pretty terrible, and the result would be pretty terrible as well. So why is that the case? Well, whilst I was trying to hold the angles between my wrist and the forearm, what I didn't hold was the rotation that I created in my forearm. That's what created this club tipping out in front of me, and it made it very, very difficult then for me to deliver the club from here. So the 2 things that happen in the backswing: the wrist will set and the forearm will rotate. We have to hold both. If we don't hold both, it's absolutely no good. To the point where I would get you to feel that you hold the rotation of the forearm, and I would stress that more than I would you to hold the wrist angles. So if we look at the golfers, there are plenty of examples of golfers who hit the ball absolutely miles, distances that I'm sure you can only dream of, who actually at this point in the downswing don't really look as if they've held that angle a huge amount. What they have done though is they've held the rotation in the forearm. They've never let that club tip out in front of them, because that's going to give them a lot more issues in the downswing. So here's what I want you to really do. And I want you to think about where the club head is relative to you and where the club head is relative to your hands. We're going to go up to the top. And I want you to feel like as you're making your downswing, the club head is staying behind your body for as long as you can. When we keep that club head behind your body, that's maintaining that rotation in that forearm. If I undo that rotation, the club starts to move out in front of me. If I undo that rotation and I keep the angle in my wrist, I'm in this position where the club is too high and it's far too far outside my hands. So here's a great little exercise that you can do, which is going to help you get a better sensation of what we would actually like you to do in the golf swing. Take a starting position. You can see I've angled this stick out to the right of my target, and as I go up to the top, I really want to feel like I'm matching the club and the stick. Now you'll notice that face on camera, I haven't really overly stressed keeping this angle. This is what I would like you to do. Focus very much more on the forearms and far less on the wrists. This is definitely going to help you perform better on the course. Like I said, a little bit less wrist angle, but great alignment with the club is far more useful than maintaining this and having the club out here. This is going to give you, trust me, lots of issues in strike, distance, curve, consistency, all of those things. So let's go ahead and hit one. But before I hit that one, I'm going to give myself this feeling of putting the club into this position, not stressing the movement to the wrists as much as I am the movement in the forearms. So when we watch that back, you'll probably see that my club pretty much matched this one on the floor. From face on, there was a decent amount of angle in the wrist, but I wasn't really focusing on that. I was focusing much more on getting the golf club shaft aligned to this, and that's going to help you out on the golf course, produce some better curves on the golf ball, some consistency, some repeatability. And if we can do that, the distance is probably going to come through quality of strike as opposed to, maybe trying to hold those wrist angles. So holding lag, creating lag, I see, unfortunately, giving lots of golfers lots of issues because they overlook the need to maintain the forearm rotation. That, trust me, is key to playing better golf, and it could be the key to you playing the best golf of your life. Hopefully it is. If it is, let me know in the comments box down below. And also, if you've got any videos that you would like me to do moving forward or any suggestions, I would love to hear from you. This channel is going to make you a better golfer if it's a two-way communication. So let me know in the comments box any videos you'd like me to do, and I can either respond to you there or hopefully even better, get a video to you moving forward. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully that helps. As I say, comments box down below, give it a thumbs up if you did like it, and also please subscribe if you're not a subscriber. This content is going to help you play some better golf this year. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.